Hello and welcome to the 5-Minute Film Club. This week we're looking at 1979's Apocalypse Now, directed by Francis Ford Coppola and starring Martin Sheen and Marlon Brando. Loosely based on Joseph Conrad's turn-of-the-century novella about a journey up the River Congo, Coppola, with a script by John Millinus, transfers the setting to the Vietnam War, where we see Captain Willard, played by Martin Sheen, entrusted with a mission to terminate the renegade and insane Colonel Kurtz. For the benefit of all of you watching, my review is based upon the original theatrical cut and not the 2001 redo, redux, re-release. Now, before I started watching this film, I have to say I was familiar with some of its off-screen problems, mainly because of Marlon Brando. The infamous stories of him being fed his lines through his ears, reading off idiot boards, and generally just wanting to be shown in shadow to hide his ever-expanding waistline. And with that in mind, I didn't really think that this film would arrest me as much as it did. The second the film was finished, it felt like I needed a cold shower. It certainly is a film that lingers. I will start by saying that this is a massive film, both in what is on the screen and also what is talked about in the dialogue. In the brilliant companion documentary Hearts of Darkness, filmed on set by Coppola's wife, it has some wonderful interviews with her husband, and he talks about what he's trying to put into Apocalypse Now. He said he wanted to have everything: excitement, sex, violence, humour, in order to appeal to as many people as possible. Now, actually, that may sound quite unappealing, but what he manages to do with Apocalypse Now is get across the insanity of war, but in a way that speaks to the largest possible audience. Also, something important to point out is that this film feels legitimate. For this film to be shot now, some of the sequences would have us easily answering the question of, I wonder how that was made, with the simple answer of computers. However, this film is indie filmmaking within the Hollywood system. It took over 200 days to shoot with spiralling production costs, and in order to actually film the napalming of the jungle, they had to go out and source the actual helicopters loaned from the Philippine government and just torch the jungle. He says that he never wanted this to be a documentary about the Vietnam War. He wanted it to have a well-constructed story and big Hollywood showmanship. Aside from how the film actually looks and plays out, the narrative structure, I feel, is incredibly important in order for us as an audience to really latch on to our lead character of Willard. It seems to be split up into episodes, almost. With the story, we travel along the river with Willard and his companions, and along the way we bump into the various different characters that make up the Vietnam War. From huge gang shows with Playboy bunnies to the psychotic Robert Duvall's Lieutenant Kilgore, who famously loves the smell of napalm in the morning, but when landing on a beach raid demands that his 2 young soldiers go off and surf while the bombs rain down on the village nearby. And then we get the strange drug-addled manic scenes at the Dulong Bridge, which feel almost like a modern-day City of Dis. In fact, the structure of the film feels very similar to one of those epic poems like Homer's Odyssey or indeed Dante's Inferno. In fact, Willard, for me, is very much like Dante. He is a lost figure in the world outside the war, and in order to find himself again, or even find a purpose in his life, he must endure this journey through hell. Just with these few points, that is why I find this film so intensely interesting. If you survive the first viewing, then I recommend you throw yourself right back in and see what else is lurking in the shadows. Hello, and thank you for watching my first new review in quite some months. And a big thank you to the several people that commented on various other videos asking whether I was going to do any more, and on Twitter as well, so thank you very much. I'm now back, and what I want from you basically is to tell me what to do. I'm going to still keep doing the 501 must-see films from the book. Next week it will be Rafifi, the French heist movie, but also I'd like your thoughts. Send me films that you want me to review. Maybe you like videos about film news, perhaps. I'm not so much a kind of current film reviewer, but if you would like me to see current film release reviews, please let me know. I'm going to see Hail Caesar today, so maybe I'll do a review of that. Just let me know. Keep me informed. Keep watching. Subscribe. Thank you very much. Goodbye.